Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Jess and I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2. In these weekend videos, I like to share some of the meals we had over the weekend, as well as bring you along for some family fun. This weekend we had a whole bunch of yummy, easy dinners, and we also took a little road trip for some homeschool history fun. So, if you guys enjoyed these videos on my channel, don't forget to hit that like button, and let's get to the video. So if you guys saw my last video, you saw that we tie-dyed some shirts for Halloween, and we got to rinse these out and see how they turned out. We let them sit for 24 hours, and they turned out great. The boys loved them, but I still don't know how you get the dye to turn out really dark. Can anyone tell me how you make it set in super dark if you want a dark tie-dye? But either way, these turned out awesome, and the boys loved them, so that's all that matters. Later that evening, we headed over to my dad's place, and of course the boys had fun playing outside with his dogs. And then he grilled us some burgers on the grill. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, is this still What is it? Boggle Jr.?
What's Boggle Jr.?
It's a game. Look.
What is this?
Cool. That one's for you, Tot. It's new books for you to read. Look, how cool.
That's good. Can I read one?
Yeah, you can read one. Are you excited? Yay, thank you. Who's in it? Let's see. Oh, it's under here. Come out.
Just help me.
Get it.
It's right there.
There's 2 of them.
You got it? Can I pop the bubbles?
From Myra. Thank you, Myra.
Bubbles.
What's that one say? Anything?
Can we pop
Same thing?
the bubbles, Mom?
Yeah. Yay, thank you. These are going to be so much fun, and he already wants to read one. We have books to read, and we have a game to play while Dad's off. Well, we have lots of games, but we have a new game to play. If I put the laundry away. No. No. Shh. Your dog has a box addiction. It's not for you. You can't have it. Good job! You did it! So now you get to keep the cat. Thank you, Myra, for sending this game to us. Tucker was super excited about it, and he was so proud that he could spell some words. And this is going to be so much fun for homeschool. We decided to do a little bleach tie-dye experiment with some black t-shirts we had gotten for the boys. And while these didn't bleach as much as I thought they would, it could be because I have the cheap bleach. I don't know. But they still turned out awesome, and I want to make myself one like this. The next day we headed on a little road trip back to LaGrange, Texas. This place is so beautiful. And last time we were here, we knew there was this state park that used to be a family home site and brewery, and there's also a monument site. But last time we came, they were doing road construction and we couldn't get to it, sadly. But we came back. I'm not going to bore you with an entire history lesson, but if you're interested, I'll tell you a little bit, and if you're not interested in any of it at all, I have timestamps down below, where you can just skip to the food. So in about 1849, I think, there was a German immigrant who was a stonemason, and he bought this piece of land that had the monument on here, and he built a house and a barn, and since he was a stonemason, obviously he built the house really well because it's still standing. This house sits on a bluff above the Colorado River, and it's about 200 feet down, and it is the prettiest view. I was never a big history buff in school. I did not like history class because I felt like all they did was teach about wars and try to get you to memorize dates and all the boring things. I mean, to me they were boring because I couldn't remember the dates. But the thing I love about local history is I can take my kids to these places they can actually see and touch, and so they can better imagine what happened here, and they can, you know, put themselves in those people's shoes. And I think that's so cool, and it's such a better way to learn than just memorizing dates and names. But yeah, so this guy built his family a house on this bluff above the river, and can you just imagine waking up to this every morning and this is just out in your front yard and there's no one else around? I just think it's really cool, and it's awesome that they had it open. Normally it's open where you can walk in, but I guess because of current events, you're only allowed to look in the doors, but you could still see everything, and it was so neat, and the boys were so excited. I love how they recreated everything in here. You could sort of imagine yourself living here. They had info on all of the family and all of that kind of stuff. And it was so cool just to show the boys how people lived in the mid-1800s. And to just see it in real life, because there are not many places like this that you can see this close up, where it's not just a setup in a museum or anything. This was the actual house they lived in. So down the ravine from the house is actually one of the oldest breweries in Texas. This family started it and it was a really big deal. There's so many things in this town named after them and their motto and all of this stuff. And if you're interested in looking at the history, if you're from Texas or want to visit or whatever, I'll leave a link down below where you can get some information because I just thought it was really cool. We ended up taking a longer hike around the park than we thought we were going to, and we were all hungry and thirsty, so we headed to H-E-B, and we got some stuff for lunch. We had a picnic at a local park and let the boys play for a little bit before we headed home. On this night for dinner, we made a Detroit-style pizza. I'll have the link down below for the crust and the instructions on how to make it. But we made ours a little different with some toppings and stuff, but this was so delicious. This might be my new favorite pizza. I'm not a huge saucy pizza person, and this had just the right amount, and the dough was so spongy and good, and you've got to try it. Once our dough had risen, Adam made our usual marinara sauce, and whenever I use that, I always have it down in the description box for you. And on top of our dough, we added on a whole bunch of Monterey Jack and mozzarella cheese. On top of that, we added some pepperoni, and then the strips of marinara sauce, which are sort of the trademark of Detroit-style pizza. Then we just put this in the oven on 500 degrees on the bottom rack for 15 minutes, and this turned out fantastic. For the last dinner of the weekend, Adam smoked some pork chops. We just used some of this Texas Moxie seasoning and got this on the pork chops and put them in the fridge until we were ready to smoke them. If you have never smoked pork chops, oh my goodness, you have to try these because this was the best pork chop I've ever had. He just got these on the smoker on 225 degrees for about an hour to an hour and a half until the internal temperature reached 150 degrees. To go with our pork chops, I'm just going to throw some garlic bread in the oven and cook some corn on the cob on the stove. And when the corn is done, I'll drain the water and then throw in some of this garlic butter that we made for pizza, some seasoned salt, parsley, and black pepper. These pork chops turned out so tender and delicious, like they just fell off the bone and melted in your mouth. We served these with our corn and garlic bread, and some applesauce, and some Heinz 57, and these were so good. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and spending the weekend with us. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, we would love for you to join our YouTube family. So hit that subscribe button down below and turn on notifications, and we'll see you guys in the next one.